5 years ago, when the idea of a powerboat race in the heart of Bristol was first suggested, it was called sheer madness. But today, Bristol Docks is established as a setting for the most demanding circuit powerboat race in the world. It attracts drivers, crews, and factory support from Europe and America. This year, over the 2 days, 3 world champions are on the water, including the 34-year-old Roger Jenkins from Wales, who won his title in Italy last September, successfully defending it again in France 3 weeks ago. From Belgium, Andre Dirks, who won his class here in Bristol in 1972. Both Jenkins and Dirks are in the Formula 2 event. Formula 2 for engines between 850 and 1500 cc's, and Dirks is getting a beautiful ride right at the start. The Belgian really showing his class. This is really World Championship stuff. Planing right over the top of the water. And it's success all the way for Dirks, but not the same story for the Welshman Roger Jenkins. He's been having mechanical trouble, and he's out of the race. He got some compensation later when he won the Formula 3 sport event for the smaller boats. But the Belgian's success never in doubt, and he goes on to win by 5 laps. But even smaller are the monos, the British Formula 3 N class, the roughest ride on the water. And this year, a woman driver for the first time, Bella Colville, a Wimbledon housewife. She finally beats 11 of the men, including her husband Tony, who, like a few others, never even sees the finishing line. But the stars of any powerboat event are the Grand Prix boats, Formula 1, 1500 cc to 2000. From the United States, Bob Herring, number 16, who won here 2 years ago in a shared drive with Molinari, the Italian. Number 3 is the world champion, Kees van der Velden from Holland. The 2 John Player special boats are driven by Tom Percival and Bob Spaulding, both 3rd place here in previous years. There's number 12, Hans Peltstar from Holland. Number 5 is Peter Thornywork, the lap record holder here. And there's Bill Brown, the only inboard in the race.
And the flag is due up. Over to you, Ray. The flag is still down. Is the flag up? We'll start this race.
And the 13 starters are away down the line of Bristol Docks. This tight twisting course, this the powerboat equivalent of Monaco in car racing. There's absolutely no room at all between the boats and the walls as they come round these turns. And it's really a test of driver's skill. And it's number 16, the American, out in the lead at the start. That's just under 2 miles and over 250 miles of racing ahead. Peter Thornywork, the lap record holder, runner-up last year, going well again in Embassy Cougar 2, lying second at the moment. Bob Spaulding, number 1, powered by the Mercury T3, the secret American power unit, really pushing him along the water. And look at this tussle. In the light-coloured boat is Kees van der Velde, number 3, Tom Percival in number 10, absolutely neck and neck, a great battle. Oh, and van der Velde goes right in tight to the wall. Right in tight to the wall, taking a different line around this tricky bend. And it's van der Velde in the light-coloured boat, Tom Percival just behind him, having a real private battle on their own just down the field. But they're all chasing this man, number 16, Bob Herring, going faster still, and surely Thornywork's lap record must be in danger now. He really is skimming over the water. Van der Velde, in fact, has gone out, and here's Bill Brown, number 15. He's having a bit of trouble. He's got the wrong prop on, not getting all the luck in the world. He said, I just want to keep going to prove a point with this inboard engine strapped inside his catamaran. Great gaggle of boats now, but on the water, on the laps being scored, it's number 10, Tom Percival, lying fourth. In fifth place is the Dutchman, Hans Pelster, with the Johnson V4. Oh, and that's the rescue boat. Somebody's in trouble. It's up on that tight pit turn. It's Tony Fay, number 4, who's flipped completely, and he's out of the water. The yellow flags, the warning flags are out. The rest of the boat's pouring on. They'll take a wide turn around this top buoy now. But Fay out of the water completely, flipped over. Rescue boat's always in attendance. He's pulled in. Luckily, he's just winded. Taken to hospital for a checkup, but only winded, and in fact was soon back in the pits working on his boat, trying to get back in the race. Still a lot of miles, a lot of laps still to do, and if Fay's got a chance, he'll be back in there. And it's still number 16, Bob Herring in the lead. He's going even faster, and this is a new lap record, 1 minute 20.8, and he's over the 80-mile-an-hour barrier. Number 1 is chasing him. 1 hour, 10 minutes gone. He's faster still. 1 minute, 20 seconds, 83.83. So Thornywork's old record broken twice. But Thornywork is chasing, and he's got it back again. After 63 laps, 128 miles, Thornywork, 1 minute, 18.2, 85.75 miles an hour. Touching nearly 100 in places.
16.
And at the halfway mark, there's only 32 seconds between Herring, the leader, and Peter Thornywork, and Spaulding is right on Thornywork's heels. Herring, Thornywork, Spaulding, 1, 2, and 3 at the halfway. But here's the race leader, number 16, Bob Herring, and he's almost stopped. He's out of the race. There's the signal to the pits. Something's gone wrong, some sort of mechanical trouble. Is it the big power unit? But here's Van der Velde, the world champion. Lost a lot of time, a lot of laps in the pits, but he's back in the race. The V6 Johnson really pushing him around now. Second here 2 years ago, Van der Velde. Bill Brown, he's cured some of his early trouble. Really going well now on this inboard. He says, if I had the trade support and the time of the rest of the drivers, I'd beat the lot. I want to prove that an inboard can do what the outboards can do and even better, and this is the evidence. Going well. Peter Thornywork, the lap record holder, is missing, but here's number 1, Bob Spaulding, leading with the T3 unit, 2/3 of the race gone. Spaulding now leads, with Herring, the early leader, gone. Thornywork missing. Van der Velde well down the field. Look at the way they ride. This is why I now call these boats aeroplanes. They just skim over the water, just the props in the bottom. Hans Pelster, number 12, showing the way that power trim and hydraulic rams work, altering the angle of the prop to the water, getting maximum efficiency all the time. They say, as Tom Percival goes through, it's like riding on a railway line, pushing the water up between the twin hulls of the catamarans. Not all are getting an easy ride, though. There's a bit of rough water around. Martin Dennison here, as you can see. Look at those twin hulls bouncing and bobbling around. He's fighting the wheel all the way now. 27-year-old company director from Blackpool, not having all the luck in the world, and there's trouble ahead for him. And there he goes. Dennison is gone. Flipped right over the top. tremendous pile-up by Dennison. Out of the water. The jack plugs attached to his life jacket and to the dashboard of the boat immediately cut the power and the ignition as soon as the driver leaves for safety values. And Dennison's all right, but no chance of success for him today. Herring, the American, number 16, is back in, but he's lost 17 laps in the pits, but now going very fast. He's sorted out his troubles. Has he got any chance at all of catching the leaders? He could pull up into about 4th or 5th position. But as the crowds on the side, an estimated nearly 250,000 people watching the races over the 2 days, they watch Bob Spaulding in number 1 now, who just has to keep going to keep in front. Spaulding leads. Second place on the lap charts is number 10, Tom Percival. The teammates 1 and 2 out ahead. The Dutchman, number 12, Hans Pelstar, is lying 3rd. And a tremendous drive by Bob Herring, who lost all those laps back in the pits, now in 4th position. Pulled up about 5 laps overall. But in many ways, the success story of the race is this man, number 15, Bill Brown. The only all-British entry, the Ford Cosworth engine, this inboard, really gone well in this second half of the race. In fact, he's lapping at a speed that would have won in the race just a year ago. But out goes the flare for the end of the race, and around the corner on the inside, there's the winner, Bob Spaulding, number 1. Herring is in the middle, who led for so long and then lost it all, and on the outside, Tom Percival, who gets 2nd place. But success today for boat number 1, Bob Spaulding, who was 3rd here 2 years ago. The Molinari, powered by the Mercury T3. There's the man he chased in the first part of the race, who went out into the pits. But it's Spaulding who wins this Embassy Grand Prix here in Bristol. A tremendous drive, 125 laps of this 3-kilometer course. Really a test for driver and machine in perfect conditions. So it's Bob Spaulding from Ipswich, winner at an average speed of 81.3 miles an hour. His teammate, Tom Percival, who was 3rd last year, 2nd this time. And this race counting towards the European Grand Prix, the European Championship. And this year, of course, the World Championship, being held for the first time in Wales. In fact, it's in Cardiff in September.
And the citizens of